Most of you might know me. My name's Paul. I'm here with iDRY. I'm sales support. Um, Sorry, Fred just hopped on. And then we have Jessica. She's our marketing guru. And we are also joined with Joey Cantrell of LongShot Premium Hardwoods, north of the Dallas area in Texas. And the whole point of this meeting, we did a webinar couple months ago to talk about marketing. This is something we have been we've been trying to crack for a while. You know, we've seen for a couple different reasons. We have existing customers who during the pandemic, we were riding this wave. Everybody was super busy. Word of mouth was working fine. And then as things slowed down, maybe business slowed down some. And also me talking to guys every day who want to get into this business, they can know the wood, they can know the drying, they can know the pricing and the products, but the question always is, and the uncertainty always is will you have the customers, right? Because no matter what, you can be as prepared as you want. That's always the question. So these are two things we're trying to do: keep customers busy in an affordable way, and also make potential new businesses feel comfortable that they're going to keep their kiln busy. Some of you saw we had to temporarily remove our directory as we kind of worked through this and figured this out, and looked at the data and the numbers and who was coming to our site. And there was a lot of confusion when people came to our site. They thought that we were the ones doing the drying. And so that's something we were trying to figure out. And right now we have a tiered program. So we have a directory, which is back, iDRYnearme.com. So it's a separate website from the iDRY Kiln website. You can, if you're an existing kiln owner, right now you can log in, you can claim your account, you can put what services you are, it'll show up on the map. Eventually, we are going to charge $100 a year for that, but 100% of that money is going to go into marketing that website and that list. 100% of the money. We also have some pretty big ideas about maybe doing some printed stuff and including it in some publications and woodworking magazines to try to get this network of customers and woodworking out to the masses. So something we're working on there. But more importantly, 2 months ago, we had some customers. We had two types of customers: the ones that were a little slower than they wanted to be, and then the ones who were starting new businesses that were worried. We said, give us a couple months. Let Jessica here, who does all of our marketing for iDRY, run some advertisements for you. We'll give you a couple months, and I'll call you. And when I called everybody, it seems that it was going pretty well. And a cool thing was we didn't know exactly how much it was going to cost or where the leads were going to come from. Initially, we thought it was going to be a lot more expensive for the customer, but after we started crunching everything, it isn't that bad. So I wanted to bring on Joey Cantrell because Joey was one of our beta testers, and I wanted him to talk about his experience with it, business before the marketing and kind of how it's changed his business a little bit and some of his leads. I want you to hear it directly from somebody who used it. So, yeah, Joey, if you want to jump in and talk about your experience a little bit.
Yeah. So I have a tree service that I service a pretty big area around this area, which is I'm right on Lake Texoma. I was, bringing a bunch of logs back into firewood, so I got the bright idea to start a sawmill business. And I have a background in manufacturing, and it was always just buy the equipment, figure out how to do it, and the customers will come if you're doing a good job. So I did that. I felt I went and bought the best equipment, and so then, I faced everything else with a startup. Bought my kiln in December of last year. I think I had it installed by the first of the year. Had wood already cut, ready to put in, and kind of turned it on and just needed customers at that point, and needed them in a big way, because I have bills now piling up for this
Yeah.
business that I have to take care of. So I tried several different things. I've got another full-time person with me now, but prior to that, it was just me. And so I didn't have time to go and do a lot of marketing because I'm working and couldn't necessarily afford to pay somebody. So that's when all this worked out with us.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Joey, you called us. We put that out. Hey, we're looking for some testers who want to try our marketing program and bump up business. And then how'd that work? You connected with Jessica and you guys put an ad together and kind of, what do you do, Jess, when a customer wants to put together an ad for their business?
Yeah, so they come and sign up, and I just go ahead and kind of look into where their area is, what they're doing, what it is they want to highlight their services. Because some people would rather sell lumber than just fill the kiln. Some people just want to fill the kiln. Some people want to do it all. So kind of look at all of that, and then I confirm with them what they want to do there. And then I just go and I set it up, and we optimize. The marketing team on this end does every week, going in there and making sure that the costs are correct for the leads you're getting, and that everyone's getting at least, the hope is, 2 to 10 leads a week, enough to keep you really busy. So that's it. And you don't have to do anything. That's the great part. So, you just tell me you want to do this, and then we do it.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you have to do except answer Messenger on Facebook and your DMs and Instagram, because that's where all these leads go. So there's no worrying about missing an email or a phone call. They could call you, but there's no need to stress about that. You just respond to your DMs and your messages.
Yeah. And Joey, you saw business pick up pretty soon after doing the ad and putting it out there, or?
I was blown away. I had done several ads myself and had a few people, contact me about stuff, but nothing really to speak of. And I mean, as soon as she ran that ad, I thought they were all scammers. You know how Messenger now, if you put some on Marketplace, all these scammers get all these messages started popping up. And I mean, if I open my phone right now, there's probably at least one unopened message that's come just this morning since I've been doing stuff. I mean, people keep coming.
Yeah.
And that ad has, 50 shares or something, and a bunch of I mean, I could scroll through my messages if we wanted to show everybody, but
Yeah.
I bet there's a couple of hundred since we ran that ad.
Yeah. And quality
So cool.
leads, are you getting drying? So drying, you sell wood. Have you been selling lumber, or what quality leads that have been led to sales for you, or?
Yeah, of course, there's always people that are just checking out, or people that contact and say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm saving your information, I'm glad you're in the area. But for the most part, I mean, I've sold a lot of wood, a lot of slabs, a lot of tables, mantles, desks, bookshelves. So we've been building some stuff, but then my kiln too. I'm already, telling people when they message me about, bringing in lumber, because some people have slabs that they need dried. Yeah. And, just individuals who have a tree and they get it cut. And a lot of people, because they didn't know really this existed, some people, they've had stuff in their garage for a couple of years because they didn't know what to do with it, or outside, because they, were just waiting for it to get dry. So that's been helpful. My kiln space, I'm telling people now, like, we're going to have to share kiln space because I'm needing my own. And I have a very good customer in Dallas, Burleson area. He's keeping it. I'm almost fighting him for my own space in there because I'm drying a lot for him right now. So all in all, it's just been, a wide spectrum of contacts.
That's awesome. And do you know about, like, how far are people driving? Do you have any kind of sense of how far people are willing to travel for your service and your wood? And
I had someone here a few weeks ago that probably they drove through Dallas to get here. They were south of Dallas, so probably at least 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I have some people, Wichita Falls, which is a couple of hours to the west. Some people drive from Wichita Falls to get stuff. North, not quite to Oklahoma City, but 30 or 45 minutes on this side of Oklahoma City, I've had people come from. Yeah. So I would say, easily 150-mile radius.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said, I thought it was pretty cool. You're like, I know they drove past a couple of other kiln businesses and slab businesses that are just like mine to get to
Yeah.
me. And
Yeah. A bunch of good places they drove by.
yeah, and that's what marketing and advertising does, because if the customer doesn't know the place exists, and especially with our boutique lumber and kiln, it's not something that's super intuitive for the customer to Google and find all the time. So you want to make sure when they do, you get in front of them. And it was funny, you talked about you've done some advertisements before on your own and they didn't get the traction that these did. And I think it's because, Jessica, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you use certain algorithms and parameters to get it in front of people better, or how does
Yeah, I
that?
mean, there's a lot of different specific targeting you can do, and it comes with warming up your algorithm or in Facebook correctly, and which usually takes time. I know in your case it didn't. It normally takes at least 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's just about making sure your targeting's on your location, but it's also, the copy in the ad needs to be on, the imagery in the ad needs to be on, your call to action, how you're getting people. It's all, and it all has to come together in the perfect little bubble. And I think we kind of cracked the code on how to make that all what we need to get you guys leads. And it was actually really funny. I was talking to a subscriber the other day, and they said, as far as customers, one of the biggest things that's happened is their brand recognition. So had people who were like, I live like a mile from you. I had no idea you were here and you've been here for 5 years. Or and then the other day he was fishing and some guy rode by in a boat and stopped and said, Hey, I know you. You own that wood business. I saw you on Facebook. I was just crazy.
Yeah.
So that was a small town. But so it's really it's awesome, and it's so eye-opening to see that you guys are not going out building a $5,000 website or on social media posting, making yourself some crazy influencer. This is just passively happening almost, which is really, I mean, the most exciting part, especially if you're still working a day job or just trying to, you'll do the work. You're happy to do it, but you just need the people to do it for.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of our goal.
I'll be honest, whenever we did this and I saw the ad, I thought, okay, well, it's another Facebook. We'll see how mine hasn't worked. We'll see. And then, yeah, I was like, well, clearly I've been doing something way wrong, because it worked.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's really cool to see that. And I do have, well, Evan, I might call him out here. Evan, I'm gonna I just hit the allow to talk. You're welcome to talk if you want, but Evan's a fairly new customer. He purchased a kiln. Boy, a couple months ago he ordered it. It just got delivered. And he signed up for the marketing program. And Evan, are you there? Can you talk maybe? Anyways, if he wants to jump on, I'm not sure if he can unmute. He signed up for the marketing program. Jessica said, hey, it might be a couple weeks. They did the ad. He's like, it might be a couple weeks before you start getting messages. And then he sent me a screenshot 3 days after he got his kiln of all the messages that were coming in with customer requests for lumber and other services. And he's like, man, my electrician hasn't even came here to set up my kiln yet. So yeah, just getting your business out there it makes me feel so comfortable and confident now when I talk to a customer who is hesitant or worried about keeping busy, that we can keep them busy at an affordable price. And right now the program is $200 a month. Cancel anytime. There's no contracts, no anything. If you guys say, hey, it's not working for me, just cancel. Evan, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Hey,
Hey. Yeah, so I've had my kiln just a couple of weeks now. Took delivery of it back in October and don't have it fully hooked up yet, but I was kind of in the same boat with I'm in a pretty awesome situation. I was able to fall into a building that's a huge shop and then a 4.5 acre property. And so when Jessica turned the ad on, I think it was a Thursday. I mean, I think I had 6 or 7 replies in that first day. So I was like, all right, cool. This is definitely working. And I'm sure everybody else has run into it. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that are just kind of, tire kickers, so to speak. But
Yeah.
I've been surprised because I've actually had a couple of builders reach out and need dimensional lumber. So now I'm kind of thinking like, okay, like my initial thought was just to do slabs, but there's a place up the road for me. It's about 45 minutes away, and they've been in business for like 30 or 40 years, and all they sell is like dimension, they sell rough cut, random widths, random thickness lumber, and then slabs. And I mean, that place is just slam busy all the time. And so like I had told Paul and Jessica, like I'm kind of in the southern, I'm just south of Knoxville, and so I'm the fourth one that I know of in this area that has it. And so now I'm starting to get these people coming in and asking me questions. And it seems like, there's also an education component to it also, because a lot of people are like, oh, hey, I have 4 or 5 slabs that I want dried. It's like, well, it's not really how it works. You have to kind of lump those all with like species, moisture content, and everything else. And you can't just run the kiln just on theirs alone. So you just explain that to other people. So I haven't had anything concrete yet, which it's a good and a bad thing, because I'm honestly not even set up all the way. So I don't even have any stock of my own. I just got an older Wood-Mizer sawmill. So I'm in the process of milling up my own stock and then I have to dry it. And so it's just kind of, it's a cluster right now, so to speak. So trying to work through it all. And I'm out of town for the week also. So there's that, but it's a lot of fun. And it's something, I mean, I've had this dream of mine for like, since I got out of college, almost 15 years ago. And so, thanks to Jessica and Paul for making it happen. And so it's, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I definitely have a stomach ache sometimes just thinking like, wow, this is a lot of money. Like, I hope it pans out, but I mean, it's going on the right track right now, and I know it'll work. So it's just getting to that point. And, I think like a lot of us that have these are kind of one-man bands. So just trying to juggle everything. And so being able to take this marketing component off of your plate and have them do it is huge. And just be like, yeah, take care of it and put complete trust in it. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah, for sure.
And from a sales point, I just want to talk to everybody on here. Joey's seen it, Evan's seen it. When you put something on the internet, everybody here knows every talking head gets a voice and has an opinion, and it's going to create some noise. You just work through that noise. You focus on the good leads that come in. And even if somebody says something on your ad that's kind of negative or something, like trolls are actually good for the ad. The more people that interact with it, it's like that snowball effect. It gets put in front of more people because it assumes people like that ad. And that's all part of it. It just continues to snowball and get bigger. And right now, we even said, hey, you might not see anything for the first, few weeks. So the fact that you already have stuff coming in, it leads me to believe the more we do this, the more quality leads that you're going to be able to pull out of this process. So thanks for jumping on, Evan. I know you just wanted to listen in, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
To your point about thanks, Evan. Sorry. To your point about the spammers or the people who just want to say something. I had someone I was talking to yesterday, and they had someone comment on the ad that they had running through us. Wow, it's nice to something like the big guys coming in, you don't care about anyone local, because that was the impression they got. And they were able to go in there in the comments and be like, wait, I'm like a one-man show here. We are local. And now everyone else that's seeing these comments and reading this, that's what they're going to see. And that helps with your brand as well. And that people know who you are. The other thing too, these ads, while they're getting people coming through, they're also getting seen. So people that aren't clicking necessarily are still aware of them in your area. So I think the baseline for most people right now in the program, they're getting about 40,000 views a month. So that's 40,000 people that are seeing this ad that are in your area. And maybe they don't need something today or tomorrow, but maybe they'll think of you in a year or 6 months, or you just never know. So it's kind of back filling up that pipeline, and just another way to kind of count your bonuses with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what works good? When I've actually had a couple of people try to tag their business on my ad. And that's the other good thing, is you can just go right up there and hide those comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to hit that hide button a few times. And
Yeah.
Believe me, we have a lot of ads out there in iDRY, and I see them all, and it can be frustrating at times. I get the guy that says, "Hey, I dried 3 boards for myself outside of my backyard," and I'm like, "Well, thinking maybe
Yeah.
you're not my demographic of what I'm looking for."
Yeah.
Going to an excavation a company that sells excavators and saying I dug a hole with a shovel in my backyard, probably not my primary market. But you ignore those people, you keep rolling, and good leads will come in. We're casting a wide net. Within that wide net, we're going to pull some stuff in. So Joey, do you think it's worth the money that you've spent, the $200 a month? Would you be crazy to shut that off, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not shutting it off.
Yeah.
Not shutting it off.
Yeah,
Great.
It's all, I'm gathering information as I go so that I can, narrow my scope in a little bit.
Yep.
Which is kind of perfect and kind of you're growing, but how you're slowly getting these leads, or not slowly, but they're trickling in, so you're learning as you go, which is nice because it's not like you're stressing about, oh my gosh, the phone hasn't rung in 2 weeks, but I don't even know what I'm doing or how to price everything. Kind of lets you slowly take it step by step without feeling like the lights are going to be shut off, which I think is probably comforting and helpful as a business owner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing about the monthly fee, from my standpoint, is it's me and one other person here. He doesn't do any marketing. I've done just barely enough to, scratch my head over it. And so for me, $200 a month is like having another employee with Jessica that can just take care of it.
Yeah.
And like I said, as long as the leads keep coming in, that works perfect.
That's a great perspective. Yeah.
Way cheaper than having an employee that you're keeping busy and that helps do marketing on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avery asked about, was this a paid ad, a business page, or a boosted post? So yeah, any ads are going to be done from a business page, from Ads Manager. This is not done from your personal page ever. And as far as the right amount to spend, kind of the same deal with what you charge for the kiln. It just depends on where you are, depends on what you're wanting to sell. Could be anywhere from $10 a day to $100 a day. It just depends on what you want to get out of it.
Yeah. It's with anything, the more money you put into it, the more you're going to get out. We feel like $200 is a good balance point for a significant amount of leads for that price point. If you want to throw more money at it, the sky's the limit, really. But yeah, after our testing and market research and data, it's a good balance point for affordability for a small business versus value, and having it pay for itself pretty quickly with lumber sales that you wouldn't have gotten, or drying times that you wouldn't have gotten without it. It's the person driving past other businesses to go to yours. That's where the value is. And if you count that value, yeah, it's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. Also, if anybody here wants to sign up for the marketing program, where do we send them, Jess?
They can go to justgrowmarketing.com and they can sign up there, or they can email me if they have questions. And I just put my email in the chat there. There's also an email on the website.
Yeah. And LongShot Premium Hardwoods. Keep your eyes peeled for him. He's going to, business is going to be booming, and you probably, hey, he might come across your news feed when you're scrolling. We'll
I was going to say, if you guys care, so the ad that we ran is 3 months. I pulled up the insights on it, and it's had right at 30,000 impressions, reaction, comments, and shares, 555, total clicks, 977. So
Nice.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 55 comments, 5 share. No, it had more shares than that. I think it's 55 shares. So yeah, so I mean those are,
yeah,
that's great.
And
That's
I
so
saw
cool.
some of
There's a
I'm
lot.
actually able to see some of your messages, and I've seen, pretty frequently I'll see something that comes in like, hey, I'm looking for a slab that's this long by this wide. What do you have in stock? Or can I come and look at your inventory and things like that? So yeah, it's seems like it's going good for you.
Yep. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Joey, for coming on. I think that pretty much covers it, Paul, unless you had anything else to.
Yeah, no, I think additional marketing questions, Jessica has her email in there. Drawing questions, structuring business questions. I'm doing consultations. You can sign up for one. Where do they go? Just iDRYwood.com and it'll pop up there.
Yeah. It's at iDRYwood.com. You can email me for the link. You can go on our Instagram. It's in a link in our bio. Yeah, Paul's been knocking out consultations and helping people prep for what they think they might want to do, or if they're already in the middle of what they should do next. So and he's been saying they've been going really well. So that's great.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Joey.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.